Greetings, welcome back to my channel. In front of you is one of my pride and joys, Powermac G4 MDD mirror drive doors, the last 2003 release of this computer and one of the last G4s ever released. This machine I got over half a year ago in the summer of 2021. It worked well. It needed new hard drives because it came without it, so I put in SSDs in it. One SSD is connected through a SATA card, the other one through an IDE adapter. But at the early winter, or probably November, the infamous problem of this machine popped up, and that's that the power supply of it died. So thanks to the videos of a channel called Action Retro, I was able to find a modern solution to replace the power supply instead of hunting down another used one. And there's a guy on eBay who makes adapter cables for this machine, so that you can connect a regular ATX power supply to this computer. And let me show you the end result of it. As you can see, this Powermac has an SFX power supply in it. 450 watts, Sharkoon silent store, 450 watts. And it's installed in the machine using a regular SFX 3D printed bracket that I found on Thingiverse. So all came out pretty well. The power cable extender is screwed in. I made a couple of small holes in the Powermac's metal structure, bolted it in, put the plastic coverings over it, and you would never know it has ever been modified. So that's a big plus. As you can see, that's the first SSD, also with a 3D printed 2.5 to 3.5 bracket, the correct bracket, so that the IDE adapter could be plugged in without any issues. And there are a couple of cards on the system. As shown, there is a SATA PCI card in it that is a native Mac one. It's from a company called Lassie. I had it lying around for many years before I decided to actually use it. Works great. The 10.5.8 Leopard is installed on the SSD that's connected to SATA, and 10.3 Panther / 9.2 macOS is installed on the IDE that is connected to the fast IDE bus. And here is the adapter cable that I ordered. It costs about 50 bucks, comes from the States, but does the jobs perfectly. I covered it up just in a sheet of A4 paper when I installed it, just to prevent that one of the wires would get caught on the sharp bits of the Powermac. And I just left it in because there's no issues with it. There is another video card. There's not an AGP card in the system. I replaced it with a Radeon 9200 PCI card with 128 megs of video memory. Solid performer. It has 9.2 drivers, so works on both 9.2 and on all the OS 6 releases. And the top card is for the USB 2.0 card from Belkin. The last slot that is currently open will be populated, I hope this week, because it depends on how quick the Dutch customs is, with a proper Mac serial card, so that I can connect, for example, beautiful devices like this to it. A quick take 100 Apple digital camera from 1994, which only has a serial connector. As you can see, a mini DIN one, which I already have the cable for. Now, only the card is needed to hook it up to my Powermac. What other updates that I did? The most interesting update, which is, of course, you can see because there's a heatsink on top of it. This machine originally came with a single 1.25 GHz G4, which is a bit slow actually. Not a bit, but it's quite slow. So first I upgraded it. I found a dual 1.0 gigahertz G4 for the MDD on eBay. I purchased that one. I plugged it in. Worked great. Was faster. But then in Japan I was able to get hold of a small lot of 3 dual 1.25 gigahertz of MDD CPU cards, and one of them is already in this system. And to give you an example, the Geekbench that is on this system, the 2.7 version, the original dual 1.0 had a score of about 899 points, and the dual 1.25 gigahertz has a score of almost 1100 points, so it's a 200 points bump, and it's really noticeable, especially on modern web browsing, that everything is a lot smoother, and of course SSDs help with it. The one unfortunate thing, I used to have the original Apple Airport card in it, but those things have a tendency to just die on you, and this one did the same thing, unfortunately. As you can see, only 2 RAM slots are populated, but it is maxed out, because those are the 2 1 gigabyte RAM sticks that this machine supports, and it doesn't matter if I put more sticks in it. It then simply decides to see this sticks as around 512 megs or something. When there's just 2 of them, it just sees them as for 2 1 gigabyte sticks and maxes it out at 2 gigabytes of work memory. So this is an overview of my retro Mac system in the corner of all my retro Apple systems. As you can see, we have the cinema display, we have the original Apple keyboard. The only not original part is the Logitech mouse. The reason is simply better than a Pro mouse, because it has 2 buttons. It's much easier to use. And right here next to it are my 2 former Mac Minis. The 2010 Mac Mini, the last Core 2 Duo Mac Mini, and the Core i5 3rd generation 2.5 GHz Mac Mini. That was my main computer for almost a decade, until I upgraded to 2018 i5 6-core. So I hope, in case you're looking for a modern solution to revive your Mac Mini, like for example when your power supply dies, and those things die quite often these days, especially if you decide to upgrade the system, the load becomes too strong for them or something. This power supply of this way is really the way to go, because this one will last you for many years, and this is a 450 watt power supply as mentioned, while the original power supply was 360 watt. So I have plenty of headroom, and because of that I'm not worried at all. The airflow is good enough, and the system doesn't get hot. The processor is cooled adequately, so no worries at all with this machine. I hope you liked the video. Thank you for watching.